Yo, 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 yo. What's up, UPR Universe? Not only am I your UPR champion, but this your man Steeman, Willie Beeman, and I'm bringing to you this top five title for title matches, man. And to join me today is the executive asshole, better known as Chris Jackass. We're gonna be bringing y'all the top five matches.
You know, I started not to even come on because you did not even address me by my proper name, which is the executive consultant, or
It's the executive
just
asshole.
the man. Excellence, man. You know, you should be happy that I'm your co-host for this top five.
I mean, who better to magnify my greatness by having you right here beside me? You know what I'm
You mean
saying?
who else wanted to join you? Is that what you were trying to say? Because
No,
no one
no,
else
no.
wanted to join. I called them all up. I said Mike. I said Ron. I said Shay. I said Katrina. I said C. Nobody wanted to join. Right, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna step up behind the screens, and I'm gonna join you, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Unpopular Review Wrestling. Please make sure you like, love, and share this. And I want to hear your top five SummerSlam. I'm sorry, we are off. Top five title for title matches. That's what we're doing today. And I came prepared. Willie probably didn't come prepared. But if you have a top five unification match, I want to see it in the comments. Please make sure that you like, love, and share this to all of your wrestling timelines and groups. Willie, take it away.
Well, my top five, and I'm starting with five. I'm gonna give it up to the Usos and RK Bro for the unification of the tag belts. That match was I would, if we gonna give them stars, you got to get that match 4.5 stars. That was a great match. We kind of knew how it was gonna end anyway, just because of the run that Roman was on. So they wanted to make sure that all the belts came to the bloodline. And it was that they little feud was amazing leading up to it. So that's number five for me. That's number five for me. The Usos versus RK Bro, the Unify, the SmackDown belts, along with the Raw tag belts. What you think about that?
Are we asking me my top five? Because it made my top five also, but not my number five. My number five was actually for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and that was between John Cena and the Randy Orton in a TLC match in 2013. That was my five.
I didn't even have that on my list.
That was an honorable mention. I said it a little earlier. Later, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, in the meantime, John Cena and Randy Orton against your RK Bro versus Usos, RK Bro versus Usos, which is a fire match. I can't disagree with your logic there, bro.
Number four, just so we don't be, and I just see that was your honorable mention, but I see how people get caught up in the moment. But I was going to mention Brock, and that number four for me is Brock and Roman. That match, it was decent out of all they matches they had. It was we got the swerve from Paul Heyman, turning on Brock, which we all knew was coming. It was finally good to see Roman get a win against Brock on a big stage like WrestleMania. So that was pretty dope. The impact was kind of minute. That's why my number one, which we'll get to later, is what I'm saying, why I feel that my number one was way better than that match, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, number four for me was Brock versus Roman at Mania.
Number four for me was none other than Chris Jericho versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from December of 2001, and 2000. It was 2001. 2001. And their unification match for the WWE and the WCW World Heavyweight Championships. I thought it was a underwhelming match, but Chris Jericho's victory and later propulsion into that main event stardom, I thought was really good. So I'm going to go Chris Jericho versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, which I believe was from Vince of 2001. Now, the Roman versus Brock match is a little underwhelming to me, and I was there at that WrestleMania. I thought it could have been better. I don't think it was one of their best matches. It wasn't a bad match by any means, but it was cut short a little by Roman's injury that he had during that match. But very good.
Number three for me, and I don't think it was a unification belt match, but you can probably correct me, as I know you might hope.
I will.
But the women's main event triple threat with Charlotte, Ronda, and Becky. That's my number three because of the women main event Mania, how Becky was on the rise as the man, how she kind of You know what I'm saying? She went on a white heat streak like Stone Cold did with after the Austin 316. It was like once her face got busted open by Nia Botch, you know what I'm saying? That it catapulted her career into her running the women's division until Seth knocked her up. So that's number 3 for me. That match.
Actually, I forgot all about that match. So thank you for that. It was not a unification match, but it was winner takes all. So it was title for title. So it does meet your criteria for this top 5. So shout out to you for that. That was a good one. I completely forgot about that one. My number 3 is actually going to be your number 1. I already know your number 1. But I'm going to mention my number 3. It's going to be WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship as well as the Intercontinental Championship. I think just for the historic purposes of the match itself sucked. But for the historic purposes of the match, that will be my number 3.
After you hear me explain why that's my number 1, I think you might change it. My number 2 is Intercontinental, the ladder match between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Of course, we had Shawn. He got suspended for roid usage and things like that. So Razor came on the scene and brought the Chico bad guy, and seeing them two, not knowing that they was friends at the time and all that. When you find out the history of it, and just the fact that they had ladder matches, at house shows and stuff like that. So to see the first televised ladder match and to see the iconic, pose of Razor at the top of the ladder holding both of the belts. And then we got the spot of Shawn jumping off the ladder. You know what I'm saying? There was some iconic moments in that match. Razor with the fallback slam on Shawn to the ladders. The edge from him grabbing Shawn off the top of the ladder, hitting him with the Razor edge. Like those moments of that match, you know what I'm saying? First televised ladder match. That's my number 2.
It's really ironic that you mentioned that. I completely forgot about that match too. It's a title match, but it was still a very good match, and it's the reason why ladder matches pretty much exist the way they do today, outside the TLC, of course. But as far as the match is concerned, you are talking about the WrestleMania 10 match and not the SummerSlam 1994 match, correct? Okay, he's frozen. Thought we were going to get a full episode out of Willie, Steam Willie Beeman, but I guess we're not. So just from his description, I'm going to go with Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels for WrestleMania 10 and not SummerSlam 1994. I'm pretty sure. Are you back?
Yeah, I didn't know if that was my connection or yours. I'm sorry.
Definitely was yours. You should have known immediately.
But I'm back. And so you said your number 2 was what?
My number 2 is going to be Sting versus Ric Flair, Clash of the Champions unification match. The first match, well, not the first match, but Ric Flair coming back to WCW and combining the International Championship along with the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. I still remember that match. I wasn't a big fan of WCW, but that match was very good, and I was a fan of Ric Flair. So I was happy to see him win with the help of one Sherry Martel.
Well, can you get your number 1? So when I give my number 1, since you done already gave my, you know what I'm saying? Can you give your number 1 so I can give my number 1 and then I can explain to the fans of why that was my number 1?
Recent tag team title match of RK Bro versus the Usos was my number 1. I think quality-wise, it was the best match of all the title matches, and is impactful felt today. And I think it's arguably why the Usos, before people start throwing stones at me, might be one of the greatest tag teams in wrestling history by far.
I mean, when all the real tag teams are gone out of a company,
it doesn't matter. They've been a great tag team for the past 10 years. They beat them all.
Guess what? When the New Day got more title reigns than they established, quote unquote, best tag team and all that, man, miss me with that. We know they're getting this run because of the run that Roman's on. Point blank, period. And they don't have any competition because all the premier tag teams are gone.
They don't have any competition because they're the greatest tag team in WWE right now, and they're the greatest tag team in wrestling right now. You can make an argument that FTR, you can make an argument that the New Day, you can make an argument that Young sucks. But in my opinion, the Usos are the greatest, definitely the 21st century, the greatest tag team of all time.
If Triple H was to open up the forbidden door, the Usos would not have the type of quality matches that FTR is having all across the globe. I'm sorry.
Okay, I mean, it's fine for to be wrong. This is your show, and sometimes you're not always going to be right. But the Usos will definitely create better tag team matches to FTR. You know why? Because Usos are more believable. FTR are a bunch of midgets.
Hold on, how are they
Vertically challenged people? I'm sorry.
how are they believable when they used to come out with paint on their face and doing the Tonga chant? Now
And
they
Sting used to come out with paint on his face. Is he
hold
your
on,
number
hold
one
on.
with a paint on his face, a wrestler?
And now they're OG boys from the block now because of their big dog cousin. Man, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Uso crazy. Uso
My bad. So Willie's number one, in case we want to spoil it, is none other than this match featuring a painted wrestler and somebody who used to eat their vitamins, say their prayers, and then all of a sudden he was from Hollywood wearing black and white and jamming to Jimi Hendrix. But telling people he doesn't want black people to have sex with his daughter. So go ahead and tell everybody why you think that's the number one.
Guess what? I'm gonna tell you something. You have a daughter. Do you want your daughters taking big black nigger dick? No, you don't.
I'd rather not have that conversation, but go ahead.
So you don't want. I don't want my daughter. I would want my daughter to be a carpet buncher before I want her taking big black nigger dick. But anyway, disclaimer. What a disclaimer.
I don't even have it anymore. Just go ahead and.
But I'm gonna explain why my number one is Warrior versus Hogan, and it wasn't from a wrestling standpoint. It was from the monumental thing of you had two monster baby faces, and at that point in time, like you didn't know, like we didn't know behind the scenes that Hogan was about to go to Hollywood. We didn't know all of that. So like to really see him and Warrior, like I said, and the build. I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons why this match was so incredible, because of the build they had for this match. Like this build took like almost a whole year, like for them to even touch. Like from the Royal Rumble to I think Warrior came and saved Hogan during the Rumble, or was that the Rumble Warrior one? I forgot which one it was. But yeah, Warrior run the Rumble, and Hogan came in at the end. I think Sid Vicious or something was in it, and whatever the case may be. But the fact that you had these two monster baby faces, like somewhat kind of similar, buff, and they both slammed Andre and this, then the third. So like you didn't know that Hogan was gonna lose, and when he lost, it was really like Hogan wasn't getting beat by it like back then. Like you had the Macho Mans couldn't get it done. You had the Sergeant Slaughters, you had the King Kong Bundys, the Earthquakes, like everything Hogan was like really kind of smashing. So for him to lose the Warrior, like that epic, like in the ring when they looked and the whole crowd going off, and like that's the first time you ever seen two monster baby faces go at it, and for it to be the first like kind of passing the torch. Like even though Hogan, we didn't know he was going to do Suburban Commando and shit like that, but you know what I'm saying. To me, that build to that match was phenomenal, and it made for the moments you got of when they got in the ring and the crowd was going off and they looking around. It was better than him and The Rock at WrestleMania. What was that? WrestleMania 20? Like
18.
19. Okay, well, I was a year old. Fuck you, motherfucker. 18. I smoke. But anyway, so to me, that's why that was the first time we actually seen that on TV, title for title. That's why that's my number one. The monumental thing it was with two monster baby faces, kind of similar character without the paint, but the strong buffness guys and the power ups and all that. So to me, that was my number one. I forgot to throw an honorable mention in here, even though most people didn't know it, but Goldberg and Hogan. Goldberg was the United States champion. If he would have lost, Hogan would have took that belt off him. A lot of people don't talk about that though either. But the road that Goldberg was on, the undefeated streak, and the culminizer with him beating Hogan for the title in Georgia, that's my honorable mention as well.
Fair enough.
I don't see what the comments. We got any comments in here? Because I don't see them. Oh, we got anybody watching?
We do.
Oh, well, y'all better start fucking commenting, people. What the fuck? We just here to. I mean, I know y'all. You see, great shape up for a guy. 38 compared to that guy shape up over there. But yeah, man, you got Steamer Willie Beamer with the executive asshole on, man. We talking title for title matches, man. Let's hear some of y'all favorite, man. Class participation is always appreciated. When my hand goes up, y'all mouth don't have to go shut, baby.
that was the best you had. That was the best you had. You know what's amazing? we actually got through this top 5 in 15 minutes. I don't think we've ever gotten through a top 5 in that time. But now that you're in charge of this division, I guess it's going to be a little quicker. And I hope that's not what she says for your sake. But
that ain't never what she say. She say, "Keep going, Dad."
That's. I guess I set myself up to hear that too much information.
Oh man, guess what? Hey, you know what? I'm taking my time to shoot my shot right now. It's like, no, I'm just playing. But wrestling dog, call me, baby. Wanna know what's that wrestling dog, baby? How you
going? You're gonna shoot your shot live in front of everybody watching, but you're in a chat room with her and you haven't said anything, even though I can tell the subtle hints that you're dropping.
Hold on. You heard the name I said?
You just said it.
I said it loud.
Yes, you did.
Oh shit!
You said call you.
Hey man, but hey, that nigga fumbled you, baby. I won't fumble you. I'm gonna carry you to the end zone. You know what I'm talking about?
Now we're talking about her Instagram rant. Okay. I'm glad she's at work. She's not watching this right now. But take us home.
All right, man. Like I said, man, this is our top 5 title for title matches. Next week we coming with y'all with the top 5 Intercontinental Champion.
His internet connection is straight garbage. How is somebody going to call him if he can't even stay online?
All right, I'm back. Damn, you signed this on?
No, we're still on. They're waiting for you to say bye.
I'm hearing music.
Yeah, I got the music playing. This is goodbye music.
Next week we got the top 5 Intercontinental Champions. And so make sure y'all join me, probably Executive Asshole, and somebody else, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We need some more fucking crowd participation next week. This your boy Steaming Willie Beeman signing off, and that's the Executive Asshole, and we out.